blades here. They're pretty neat. I actually also from the dollar store. Now the reason why I like these is because it got the handle and you can actually use it to scrape off the algae. It works really well. So I got some new ones because this one actually started to get some rust on it, so hell yeah. Alrighty, I just want to say please be safe. This is a razor blade, it will be sharp, you know, don't cut yourself. Alrighty. So I was just thinking to myself, I hope my stone actually fits in here. Right? So here's the stone, here's the container, and the stone looks awfully big, but it does fit just right. I'm like, okay, we got lucky, right? So what you always want to do is put your stone in here first. So you want to make sure your stone fits in there well, and then go by that. So I'm going to put the stone basically against the wall, because it does have that, it has that gap. So I'm going to put it against the wall, and then I'm going to cut like maybe a couple centimeters away from it. So basically, I'm going to cut here, straight up. Alright. So there's two ways you can do that, of course. You take your razor blade and do it from the inside, just poke through it, and then, you know, do like this, find your hole, and continue the line, make sure it's nice and straight. Use a ruler, use whatever you have to make sure it's nice and straight. Alright. Alright, so I went ahead and cut it, and you can tell it is a horrible cut. So actually, it was much harder to cut this as I thought it was going to be. But no worries. So I made sure I cut it bigger than what it needed to be, and then I'm just going to take a pair of scissors now and make it nice and straight. So always cut it a little bit bigger, just in case you do mess up, and let's say you were cutting, and you were like, oops, because that happens, you know, cutting, and oops. So cut maybe a little bit bigger, and then just trim away, just to be on the safe side. You never know. Alrighty, so this is the final cut. As you can see, it is pretty dang almost close as possible, straight as possible. Alright, so it's not as bad. I'm doing this with a razor blade, scissors, best I can. But when I put it against the table, it's pretty dang flush. So that's not so bad. I might have to cut right there. That's the only place. So that's what you want to make sure. Make sure it's nice and flush. And then when you got it nice and flush, start this one. But make sure cut a little bit extra, and then make sure it's the same height. If you got something shaped like this, if it's perfectly 90 degrees all the way around the whole entire box, the perfect rectangle, you know what I'm saying? Perfect square, right? This is a rectangle. But yeah, then it doesn't matter how tall. But if you got triangle type shape, deal type thing like here, then make sure it's the same length, so it makes a good seal. Alright, so we got two leveled containers. One goes inside the aquarium, one does not. So airstone goes here, reflecting tape goes here. Right, so we're gonna tape this the inside all the way around, borders and everything, best we can. We're gonna go ahead and tape now. Alright. Alrighty, I got the tape in there. It's all in there real good. Dun, 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 dun. So now we gotta think about lighting. And I know in the beginning I didn't show no lights because there's two methods. You can have a container, put an LED in it. You can have a container, put some reflective light in it, or reflective tape in it, LED, or nothing at all. Just get yourself a desk lamp, and you know, this would sit inside of the aquarium, airstone, you know, algae's growing, and a desk lamp is just powering it. For algae, you do not need high quality lights, so anything will do. So this is one reason why I didn't, you know, show what I'm going to be using, but I will be using a lid that is just laying around. It has LEDs already on it, they're nice and skinny, but it's just what you have laying around. Anything will do, light wise. But you do want something concentrating the light, you know, you just don't want it sitting like this, there isn't really any light. So I would need like a desk lamp pointing into it, like kind of like that. This is actually a 75 watt. You know, this will actually, you know, depending on how deep the water is and everything, you know, this will grow some plants. You know, you don't even need something like, you know, a quality light bulb like this. You can buy, I don't know, $1 light bulb that will do just fine. Shit, hell yeah. So I'm gonna use these, and I'm gonna basically put it in there, and I'm gonna use some double-sided tape and just double-sided tape, and boom, boom, boom. So I'm gonna kind of put it in the middle and around the edge so it really concentrate. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, use all of it. Maybe I just use one, but you know, like I said, when it comes to the light, I don't know, but this is definitely what you want to get. You want to get a container. You want to get something like this, nice and flat, something with holes so algae can grow on it. This is even better. And you know, these are definitely something you really need for a homemade algae scrubber. Light, all types of choices. I mean, this is also, you know, hundreds of different choices. Just make sure the container fits. You know, what you're going to go in here, you can cut to size, so that doesn't really matter. Just this what's really important. Make sure the container you do get actually fits your tank. It should fit, you know, nicely. You know, this way, well, it would even fit sideways, so that's pretty neat. But I'm gonna put it in tall. Right. So I'm gonna go ahead and start dislodging these, and hell yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and tape them in, see what happens. Well, alrighty, so basically I used the same exact tape. Where is it? There it is. And even, you know, even the underside is reflective, so that's pretty dang neat. So basically just rolled it over and first grade. Very sticky tape, so they're in there. They're in there forever. No. So now next step is to because there's so many LEDs in here, because it's one big unit, I could have just cut it and maybe just used one or two, whatever, but I went ahead and just put all of them in there. Go ahead and supercharge it, why not? But that's a lot, and also it's going to be concealed, so I am going to put a couple holes in here for ventilation. So I'm going to put a hole right here for the wire to actually escape and go through, instead of just wedged through it, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to just periodically, pronounce that correctly or not, put holes throughout the box, so it can, you know, not too many, because I don't want to actually mess up the lighting or the reflecting thing, but I'll probably put a few up here because heat rises. So yeah, I'll probably just put a few up here, and maybe just like maybe 3 around each one of these LEDs, so just so it can immediately escape from these axes, and as the heat rises it can go this way. So that's actually an excellent idea. So yeah, think of that as well. If you have a lid laying around with some LEDs, you know, skinny ones, you know, Tetra tanks, all types of LEDs laying around from these mini Tetra tanks, beta bowls have little LEDs built into them. If you end up using so much, think about heat. Alright, so let's make some holes. Alrighty, so we went ahead and got it taped in there, and we went ahead and poked some holes. So I actually went ahead and just did 2 on each side, 1 on the bottom, 1 on the top for each one, and then I got holes here and holes on the bottom, and I got that nice and taped in because I thought that would be a good idea, because it's really wedged in there. So, you know, instead of pulling on it on accident one day, and I don't know, I thought that was a good idea because it's really wedged in there. So the extra cord is also taped down. Oh yeah, so that should be able to breathe really nice. There's plenty of holes everywhere. So yeah, so it's gonna go against the wall. So yeah, light will kind of go out and down, maybe back, but that's okay, no worries. We want safety first. We don't want the lights to burn up. Alright, now next step is to figure out, this is just going to lay in here, that's too easy. We are going to take this and connect it to this end so we can have two sides. The only thing we have to cut with this one is a hole for the airline tube to enter from here and from here. Thinking about maybe doing from the bottom, maybe even from the top, just have it come from the top and then running down to it, instead of having a whole bunch of airline tubes running all the way down to this. That's a good idea. So top and boom. Alrighty then, so that took a minute too. So I tell you what, this project takes a lot longer than the floating bed bottle did. There it is. Anyways, it's taking forever. So I actually noticed when I put the adapter on there, so you can actually put an airline on this end and on this end, that it is too big. You couldn't actually get an airline in there, and then it would kink the hose. So it's gonna have airline entering from the sides. That's okay though, because I put a suction cup right here, and on on the outside, and airline be nice and neat, no stress. So on the bottom, I put semi bigger holes, just on the outside, because the way the thing is made, it's gonna sit on there. You don't want it to. See, it still blocks the hose regardless, but it's still gonna pull in water. Yep, it's still gonna pull in water. What I might do is I might just chip away at this, get away, remove the base, because it will be not going to float away, because it will be held in with the pressure lines, and we do want some flow to get in there. On the top, I did slim holes, a whole lot of slim holes, because you want the air to escape. Basically, air pump is going to be running. I went ahead and already got these cut, everything ready to cut, and you gotta make sure you cut it two sides that fits in here. So the air stone goes here, this goes on the inside, of course. So it's gonna bubble over this net. It's gonna pull in water through these holes as it's putting air and then escaping. So it's gonna pull in water in constant motion over this net here, and it's gonna grow a whole bunch of algae. Is this the right net? Yes, it is. But like I said, I'm actually gonna use all three, and I'm just gonna kind of let them flop just like that. I'm not gonna actually make it hard, I'm gonna squish it together, whatever you want to call it. Just gonna let them flop around. On this one, I made little tiny slits in here, and I'm just gonna zip tie, 3, and then I'm gonna put it around this, and that will be that. So I'm gonna chip away at that, and then zip tie it all together. All right.